Hello and welcome to the Maharashtra Brief, where we get you all the top news stories from Mumbai and Maharashtra. What you may have missed during the day, you can always catch up with the latest news on the Maharashtra Brief on NDTV's YouTube platform. On the show tonight, we're looking at three stories, and of course the first one is MNS Chief Raj Thackeray appears in a court in Thane in connection with a case that was registered in 2008 over attacks on North Indians during railway exams. Also on the show tonight, we are looking at raids conducted by the Enforcement Directorate and the ATS, the Anti-Terror Squad, in connection with allegations of terror funding. And finally, the third story, of course, is again a very sad one, this time on alarming figures of farmer suicides in Maharashtra. And of course, what we are being given to understand is 781 farmers have died by suicide in Maharashtra in the last 6 months. Here are the headlines. Maharashtra Navnirman Sena Chief Raj Thackeray appears in a court in Thane in connection with the 2008 attacks on railway job aspirants. The Maharashtra ATS and the Enforcement Directorate conduct raids in several parts of the state in connection with allegations of terror funding. In a written reply to the Legislative Council, the Maharashtra government informs that 781 farmers have died by suicide in the last 6 months. Let's move on with the show. And today, of course, was an important day in court for MNS Chief Raj Thackeray, who appeared in a court in Thane in connection with a case that is to do with the attacks on North Indian railway job aspirants in Thane. The court, of course, took note of that appearance and has also said that the trial will be conducted. But this is important because finally, Raj Thackeray appearing in court in Thane in connection with those cases that took place at that time. My colleague Abhishek Avasthi has more on this story.
2008 रेलवे बोर्ड रिक्रूटमेंट के मामले में आज थाने कोर्ट में सुनवाई हुई, जिसमें खुद राज ठाकरे मौजूद थे। सुनवाई के दौरान राज ठाकरे से जब जज ने पूछा क्या आपके खिलाफ जो आरोप लगे हैं उस पर आप क्या गुनाह कबूल करते हैं, साफ तौर पर राज ठाकरे ने गुनाह कबूल करने से इनकार किया, जिसके बाद उनके खिलाफ चार्ज फ्रेम हुआ। 2008 रेलवे रिक्रूटमेंट बोर्ड का जो मामला है, कल्याण में जो रेलवे रिक्रूटमेंट बोर्ड की भर्ती होनी थी उसमें भारी मात्रा में उत्तर भारतीय लोग और युवा वहां पर पहुंचे थे, जिसके चलते वहां पर जो रेलवे की प्रॉपर्टी है उसको डैमेज किया गया, हंगामा किया गया था उस समय मनसे कार्यकर्ताओं द्वारा, जिसके चलते 7 मनसे कार्यकर्ता और राज ठाकरे जो टोटल 8 लोगों के खिलाफ मामला दर्ज किया गया था। कल्याण से मामला ट्रांसफ़र किया गया था थाने कोर्ट में, और आज जब उसकी सुनवाई खास करके चार्ज फ्रेम की बात आई तब साफ तौर पे राज ठाकरे ने गुनाह कबूल करने से मना किया, उनके खिलाफ चार्ज फ्रेम हुए। और फिर जब जज ने कहा कि 1 महीने के भीतर ये पूरा मामला निपटाया जाएगा और आप इसमें आपका सहयोग होना चाहिए, और ऐसे में पूरी तरीके से जो थाने कोर्ट में 2008 के मामले में राज ठाकरे के खिलाफ चार्ज फ्रेम हो गए। चार्जेस की अगर बात करें तो दंगा उस्काने के लिए कहीं ना कहीं, और जो भड़काऊ बयान देने के लिए, और तमाम अलग चार्जेस उनके खिलाफ यहाँ पर लगे हुए हैं। 1 महीने के भीतर कहा जा रहा है कि ये पूरा मुद्दा जो ट्रायल है उसे चलाया जाएगा, और कहीं ना कहीं राज ठाकरे की आने या नहीं आने से भी कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा, लेकिन कहा जा रहा है कि कोऑपरेशन रहेगा तो 1 महीने के भीतर ये पूरा मामला उसका जो ऑर्डर है वो पास किया जाएगा।
And moving on to another important story from Maharashtra. This time, the Maharashtra ATS and the Enforcement Directorate have jointly conducted raids in several parts of the state, including in Ratnagiri and, of course, Borivali and Padga village in Thane district. Now, this, of course, is to do with allegations of terror funding. And what we are being given to understand that raids were also conducted in Ratnagiri, where illegal felling and sale of Khair wood, which is used to make katta, was allegedly being done, and that money also could have been used for terror funding is the suspicion. And my colleague Sujata Dwivedi has more on this story.
In a large overnight operation, the Enforcement Directorate and the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorism Squad launched joint operations in several areas, almost 40 locations in Thane itself, and this was because of suspected financial transactions with relation to terror-related activities. Well, the entire raid started from Borivali village, which is situated near Padga in Thane, which was also previously under scanner because of several other reasons. And this time again it was where the ATS as well as the ED suspected that there were financial transactions that were taking place in view of terror related activities and functions that were carried out within the homes of this particular village. Well, this is not the first time that this area has been under scanner and in the national view, whereas earlier it was because of Saqib Nachan, the deceased ISIS national head who was found of several such allegations where he was accused of either creating sleeper cells or funding and also giving oath to young of these youth and asking them for more and more of these radicalization, after which after his death it was suspected that these activities might have stopped, but yet again these raids by the ED as well as the Maharashtra ATS has brought this entire area again under scanner. Now what is to be noted is this is the same village in which Saqib Nachan once declared it as its own country, where he also allegedly formed his own constitution. He created his own cabinet ministers, whereas he stated that this was his country where his rules will be applicable, whereas as soon as he was detained and thereafter arrested formally by the NIA, it was that during his entire time in the jail he was found to be dead because of a brain hemorrhage, after which it was likely that these activities in this particular village would have stopped, but the Maharashtra ATS as well as the ED, after finding certain clue, they started conducting more of these investigation and raids within the homes of this a particular village which is situated near Padga, which is also a very sensitive area because of the people and the mindset that has been created and curated within them. Whereas what remains to be seen is how does the NIA as well as the other agencies that are minutely involved in such activities, what is it that they release in their searches? Are there any seizures that have been made, and what exactly were the activities that were being carried off by these residents of this particular village remains to be seen. Whereas for now, all of these raids at almost 40 locations in Thane, near Padga, in Borivali village is likely to be concluded, and thereafter more of these investigations will be carried out if more hints have to be found by these investigative agencies.
And finally on the show, a worrying state of affairs for Maharashtra, and this is not a problem that's come to light today. It's been something that the state has been dealing with. 781 farmers have died by suicide in the last 6 months. This was what the Maharashtra Legislative Council was told in a written reply by the state government. And Maharashtra's worrying figures of deaths of farmers due to suicide is something that is being often talked about. It's been there. The government has taken several measures, they say, but it's still a problem that's remained. And the government also informed the Legislative Council that they're taking several steps, including running counseling centers for farmers to prevent such sad instances. My colleague Sanjay Tiwari reports from Nagpur.
The opposition members in the State Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra today demanded suspension of the question hour in the Assembly and holding of immediate discussion on the issues related to farmers in the state. They raised slogans and also issues like the farm suicides in the state, also the damage to the crops due to excessive rains, and also demanded opening of more procurement centers. They also indicated to the practical difficulties being faced by the farmers in online registration due to network connectivity issues. They were adamant and demanded nothing less than a discussion, an immediate one, on the issue. However, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, assured them of appropriate decision on the demand, but dissatisfied, they staged a walkout from the assembly. The state government has recently released huge funds to address the issues related to the excessive rains and the damage to the crops due to these. The state government has also assured a decision on the issue of loan waiver in the first half of the next year. The state government figures show that at least 781 farmers have ended their lives in the last 6 months in the state.
That's all we have on the show tonight. Thank you so much for watching the Maharashtra Brief on NDTV's YouTube platform, where we bring you the latest and what you may have missed during the day from Mumbai and Maharashtra. For all the latest news and updates from India and across the world, keep watching NDTV.